Next time. There's like 3 more.
right, for this performance of Lift Every Voice and Sing, we will be singing the melody once through on unison, and we invite you all to join us as we repeat the melody.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I am John Coleman. I'm the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, and it is my great pleasure to welcome parents and families, supporters, and friends to this very special day, as well as our distinguished guests on the stage, including Regent Mike Kenyanya. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to all of the families, friends, and supporters here in the audience today. There's a few words that probably describe today well, and one set of words I can think of is better late than never. It is far better to be late than never to walk across this stage to mark your remarkable success of becoming University of Minnesota College of Liberal Arts graduates and now alumni. Members of the class of 2020 and the class of 2021, congratulations to you all, finally. It is wonderful to be here today as a community of families, friends, faculty, and staff, all honoring our graduates in one place, back on the campus of your memories. It feels so right to throw off the needs for social distancing that delayed this event, to recognize your accomplishments, and to launch you formally onto the next phase of the rest of your lives. And thank you to all of the parents, grandparents, partners, spouses, children, friends, dogs, cats, and baristas who were there to support, sustain, love, and caffeinate you through your years as undergraduates. I know you couldn't have done it without them. Graduates, please join me in giving them a round of appreciative applause. I know, and you know, that a part of earning your degree was a series of tests. There were the nerve-wracking performances. There were the unexpected quizzes and the excruciating term papers. There were PowerPoints and oral presentations. There were those final exams. There were even, I might guess, a few all-nighters along the way. But those were the easy tests because you were tested in even more difficult and trying ways, truly in ways unique to your years here at the university. You were antigen tested, home tested, saliva tested, and PCR tested. You were tested around issues of equity, diversity, inclusion, justice, and dignity as our campus, city, and nation faced a reckoning around racial justice. You were tested by a political environment in which dialogue, discussion, and genuine active listening were hard to find. You were tested as isolation threatened your mental health. If all that sounds pretty grim, my apologies for that. And it may seem like the tests you passed in classrooms and on laptops here at the U pale in comparison to those more global public health and political challenges. But I'm here to tell you that they do not. The tests you have passed here at the University of Minnesota have enduring value and impact. In the end, we all do our part to make our community, our nation, and our world better places. We make a difference as best we can. By passing the biggest test of commitment to advancing your life and the life of your families, you can take the knowledge and skills you developed in CLA and make a difference in your own corner of the world. In the College of Liberal Arts, we hope we provided you with the foundation to do the most good you can do for others. It was our goal to give you the opportunity to move beyond what you knew when you entered our college. It was our mission to help you discover new things that you couldn't even have imagined when you entered the university. And when you attend college, it is in part to discover yourself, to learn more about yourself and who you are and what makes you tick. But a bigger job is to discover others who differ from you and what makes them tick. Developing the ability to see the world through other people's eyes connects many of the majors in the liberal arts, whether it's thinking about voters in political science, thinking about consumers and business people in economics, thinking about the characters in a play, in theater, and on and on and on. And that skill, the skill of empathy, the skill of perspective taking, of seeing how other people see the world, will serve you very, very well in every aspect of your life. It will serve you well in your personal life and in your professional life. It will assist you as you aim to build strong communities, whether in person or digitally. You are emerging visionaries and innovators, exquisite artists, articulate communicators, soon to be brilliant entrepreneurs, teachers, lawyers, doctors, business leaders, poets, soldiers, logistics experts, and more. You are emerging leaders with formidable skills. A genuine leader brings the range of creative, analytical, and communication skills we cherish in the liberal arts into their communities and into their workplaces. You bring that to the table. A compassionate leader leads with a heart, with empathy. You bring that to the table as well. We hope we've prepared you, and more importantly, that you've prepared yourself to make a difference in whatever way you choose to in your corner of the world. So yes, members of the class of 2020 and 2021, you've passed all the tests with flying colors. Be well and be effective in the tests that you face still. I want to thank you for your resilience and thank you for what I'm certain you'll deliver to our communities from the local to the global in the days and years to come. Thank you also for patiently waiting for this memorable day, which is definitely better late than never. Congratulations. At commencement, we celebrate the achievements and the promise of students who will be tomorrow's leaders, entrepreneurs, creative artists, and public servants. And we invite as keynote speakers people who model the highest ideals of leadership, creativity, and excellence. It's my great honor and pleasure to introduce such a person as today's keynote speaker, Kareem Rahma. Kareem Rahma is a digital media entrepreneur and three-time Webby-nominated comedian living in New York City. He is currently the Chief Creative Officer and co-founder of Some Friends, a premium audio-first entertainment company telling stories by and about people of color for everyone with the mission of championing inclusion through diversity. Additionally, he serves as senior advisor to twice Oscar-nominated documentary studio XTR. Previously, he was the founder and CEO of Nameless Network, an entertainment company that creates and distributes smart video content for the smartphone generation, and the Museum of Pizza, the world's first immersive art experience celebrating pizza. We were just talking about his time working at Papa John's while he was here on campus. Prior to pursuing an entrepreneurial path, Kareem was Director of Audience Development and Growth Strategy at the New York Times, and before that, the Associate Director of Global Marketing at Vice. Kareem is also a published poet. His debut book, We Were Promised Flying Cars, was published by the Brooklyn-based museum Pioneer Works and continues to be a top seller. As a comedian, his videos have been watched millions of times by people around the world. His narrative film debut as a writer, producer, and actor will be marked at this year's 2022 Tribeca Film Festival, where his film, Out of Order, will have its world premiere. Kareem graduated from CLA in 2008 with a degree in journalism, and he is a 2019 recipient of the Hubbard School of Journalism and Mass Communications Above the Fold Award. Please join me in welcoming Kareem Rahma.
Hello, everyone. Dean Coleman stole my joke about Papa John's, which is a true story, and it did lay the groundwork for me starting something called the Museum of Pizza, which in my eyes was a tremendous pinnacle of success. Greetings, thank you, and congratulations to the 2020 and 2021 University of Minnesota CLA graduates. Thank you, Dean Coleman and the Commencement Committee, for the incredible invitation. It is an unbelievable honor and privilege to be here with you today. Pardon me if I sound a bit tired. I was pulling an all-nighter. You, my friends, should all be so proud of yourselves. Every single one of you has done the unimaginable. You just graduated college during the most difficult, unprecedented time in recent history. So, before we even begin, I'd like to take a moment to celebrate you. Please join me in standing and giving yourselves the largest applause ever. And all of you guys too, everyone stand up for these heroes. All right, that's enough. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. We could keep going. I was pretending that those claps were for me. Non-traditional times call for non-traditional measures. And boy, oh boy, are these non-traditional times. I mean, look at who they picked to give the commencement speech. A comedian with barely 50,000 Instagram followers. I heard they were going to get Bob Dylan, but he couldn't make it due to supply chain issues. When I received the email from the university asking me to give this speech, my first thought was, wow, that is a pretty good phishing attempt. I almost gave Dean Coleman my social security number. Wait, I actually did. Can I have that back? I did give you my social security number. My second thought was really, out of the thousands of people who've walked through these doors every year, over the past 150 years, you picked me. It turns out they ran out of politicians. Apparently, the dean's office does not have access to Wikipedia, so I went ahead and found a few other candidates, obscure alumni like myself, who can give the speech next year. A fellow by the name of Nick Clegg, who also happens to be the former Deputy Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Pretty impressive. Didn't start a pizza museum, though. Erman Aliak, who is ranked first in Forbes Turkey's 100 wealthiest Turkish people in the world with a net worth of over $3.9 billion. We don't like billionaires, I guess. And the guy who invented Apple, not Steve Jobs, but a great man by the name of David Bedford, who invented the Honeycrisp apple right here on this campus in 1961. The greatest apple of all time was invented right here on this campus. Did you know that thanks to a genetic variation in the Honeycrisp apple, the cells are twice as large as other apples, which gives them their signature addictive crunch? Please invite the apple guy next time. Seriously though, this is one of those honors that is so far-fetched that even to an absolutely delusional person such as myself, it feels like an elaborate practical joke. Believe me, when I was a sophomore at this college, living on 13th and Como, and eating bowls of ground beef drenched in barbecue sauce, I could have never imagined that I'd be standing here in front of all of you attempting to inspire the next generation of U of M graduates. In the university's letter inviting me to speak, they told me why they thought a comedian with a background in entrepreneur and media would be a good choice. The experiences of recent years call for a commencement speaker who can speak to our graduates' varied experiences, academic fields, and goals, as well as a speaker who can provide perspective on the historic moment we are living through. I don't know why a university sounds like that, but trust me, it does. I selfishly accepted the invitation, not because I'm the right guy for the job, but because I knew that this would probably be the largest audience I ever get to perform stand-up for in my life. In all seriousness, in today's world, you get to define yourself, however you'd like to be defined. You can be an entrepreneur, a poet, a comedian, a writer, an actor, a producer, a computer programmer, an activist, a public relations professional, a politician, God forbid, even a DJ, all at once. And whether you decide to pursue a more traditional corporate path or take the more entrepreneurial route, you are allowed to break the rules, to make new ones, and to shape a new world in your image. Not only are you allowed to do it, but you are encouraged to do it, because you are the ones who will leave this place better than how you found it. You can tell your employer that you prefer to work from home, or that health care is not a perk, but a requirement. You can demand that the company you work for align its core values with yours and not the other way around. You have the power and the responsibility to make sure that the snacks in the office are good. Back in my day, we didn't even have snacks. Back in my day, we were lucky to have casual Fridays. You have no idea how hard I fought to be able to wear jeans in the office. When I arrived at this campus in 2004, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And when I graduated 4 years later, I still didn't. But at least I had done something nearly impossible. I had gotten kicked out of a fraternity for throwing a TV out a window at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, but we can talk about that later. When I started my journalism degree, my third year, very late, I had no idea I would go on to work at the Minnesota Daily. And when I worked at the Daily, I had no idea that I would go on to work at Vice. And when I worked at Vice, I had no idea that I would go on to work at the New York Times. And when I decided to quit the New York Times and try to start my own company, I had no idea that 8 years later, I would become unemployable. When I started journaling every morning, I had no idea that I would go on to write poetry. And when I wrote poetry, I had no idea that I would go on to perform it in front of a live audience. And when I performed in front of a live audience, I had no idea that I would get addicted to the laughter and try to pursue a career as an entertainer. I am not bragging to impress you. I am bragging to impress your parents, because mine are not here. These accomplishments were not goals. They were simply opportunities that presented themselves and opportunities that I said yes to. Now, I've summed up the last 15 years of my life into 2 paragraphs. This is the Instagram version of my story. It sounds like I've got it all figured out, but I don't. I'm still mentally in the same place that many of you are today. Uncertain, a bit scared, and very confused. The bad news is those feelings don't go away. The good news is you kind of get used to it. Moral of the story, no one knows what the hell is going on. My first job out of college, I had a really amazing boss. His name was Jared Roy, and he was probably the same age then that I am now, which is cool, except for it means that I'm old. His advice to me was simple: fake it till you make it. So that's what I did. Now, a disclaimer. I want to emphasize that fake it till you make it does not mean go out and start a pyramid scheme. It means act as if. It means act as if you believe in yourself. I moved to New York City 10 years ago on a whim. It was between New York City and Los Angeles. I picked New York City because it had one thing that Los Angeles didn't: a friend with a twin-size mattress covered in dust on the floor of a basement apartment in the East Village. And when I landed in New York City, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, with my 2 suitcases, the first thing I did was lose my phone in the cab. The second thing I did was stand outside, crying in the rain, locked outside of my apartment. Boy, were we off to a great start. But I didn't let those little hurdles get me down. For the next month, I applied to a million jobs I was underqualified for until I ended up getting one at a very fast-growing media company called Vice. The pay wasn't great. I was making $36,000 a year and living in New York City, which meant that my diet consisted of $1 slices of pizza dipped in ranch dressing. My boss at the time asked me if I knew how to do media buying, so I figured I'd be honest with him and lie. 4 months later, I got a promotion. Jared's advice had worked again. I then went on to get a job at the New York Times, where I kind of had an idea what I was doing, but as I kept acting as if I did, I kept saying yes, I kept pushing myself, I kept rising to the occasion, and I felt like a part of a team striving to bring a 100-year-old institution into the digital age. After that, I thought, maybe I'll become an entrepreneur because I wanted to be rich like Mark Zuckerberg, or that other guy who started 5 Hour Energy. He's a billionaire, by the way. I had no idea where to start. I didn't go to Carlson School of Management. I didn't know what I was doing, so instead of going back to school, which I encourage that you should if you want to, I listened to some podcasts. It kind of works. How do you make it, guys? How do you make it in the world? How do you make it in New York City? How do you make it? You catch a wave and you ride it. You don't swim against the waves. You catch a wave and you ride it to shore. I'd like to read a poem from the prolific poet known by the name of John Bon Jovi. It goes like this. It's my life. It's now or never. But I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live while I'm alive. It's my life. My heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. Don't know who Frankie is. I just want to live while I'm alive. It's my life. Okay, so what's next? In my notes it says, get the entire student body to sing that song with me. Are you guys interested in doing that? All right, let's do it, all right? On three. Should I put the song on my Spotify and we'll sing it, or should we just sing it a cappella? Okay, we'll do Spotify, and then but you guys have to sing with me. You can't embarrass me while I'm up here, all right? I have it queued at the exact moment in case you guys want to say yes, and it looks like you did, so let's go.
It's my life.
It's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live while I'm alive. It's my heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. I just wanna live while I'm alive. It's my life. Thank you. Is that the first time that someone has done karaoke commencement speech? Maybe. I don't even like that song. But the lyrics are actually pretty good. They don't need much explaining. You guys are very smart. So just remember, today's the day. Of course, you're about to leave college, or you just did already, and enter the world. And honestly, it is scary. And even more honestly, it might suck sometimes. But get your failures out of the way while you're young. Keep failing. Today is the day to fail. It's also the day to succeed. The best time to start following your dreams are yesterday, and the second best time is right now. That reminds me, there are two big secrets to success. The first secret is that there are no secrets, and the second secret is that anyone who tries to sell you a secret is a liar. But I do want to share a few pieces of knowledge that I think are helpful, and you can have them for free, unless you want to Venmo me later at Kareem Rahma. Just kidding, please don't actually Venmo me. So number one, no one knows what they're doing. Your boss doesn't know, your friends don't know, the people you look up to don't know. Everyone's just guessing all of the time. So just follow the age-old advice and pretend everyone in the room is in their underwear. Number two, do what's right now. Don't do what you think will be good for the future you or the past you. Do what's good for the you are today. I used to feel guilty about not finishing books that were boring to me. Now I realize that if something isn't working, it's not always worth it to muscle through. Of course, sometimes it is, but don't be afraid to walk away. Sometimes that's the right thing to do. The same goes for life. You can always flip back to that other chapter if you miss it. Which leads me to my next point, number three. Don't be overly committed. This is the opposite of what most people will tell you, but the wrong kind of commitment, aka obligation, will destroy you. Do nothing out of obligation. Do things because you want to do them. Let's say I pick up that same book from earlier and now I don't like it at all. You know what I do? I put it down and I never pick it up again. This runs counter to much of the advice you'll receive, but the people who are overly committed end up working jobs they hate for 20 years. Number four, prioritize fun. You told yourself you'd read a chapter in that book today. You love reading. I do too. Look, everyone does. but it's an unbelievably beautiful day and your best friends want to go outside and they want to have a picnic. Join them. Leave the book where it is. It'll be there on a rainy day. Number 5, self-generation is key. Don't wait around for anybody to make your dreams come true. Don't wait for someone to hand you an idea on a silver platter. You have to keep walking. Eventually, you'll run into people who will help you along the way. Take their help, keep in touch, but keep it moving. You have to generate your own path. Number 6, and this one's very important to me because I feel it right now. You are not an imposter. Imposter syndrome is this little voice in your head telling you that you're a fraud. It tells you to doubt yourself. It tells you that you don't deserve to be here. Just tell that voice to shut up, okay? You do deserve to be here. All of you are worthy of your success, and you should be proud of what you've already accomplished and what you will surely accomplish in the coming years. Number 7, put a case on your iPhone. Number 8, clean your house before you go on vacation. Number 9, always wear sunscreen. And number 10, do not buy things that you cannot afford. Like I said, there are no secrets, but kindness, sincerity, and optimism will allow you to take this journey with a smile on your face, which, believe me, makes a world of difference for yourself and those around you. Be empathetic, be open-minded, be hopeful. You have great instincts, big hearts, and a desire to dismantle systems that no longer work in your favor. You are so intelligent, so resilient, so creative, so good at making viral videos. You know exactly what you're doing, and the world will be a better place because of you. This speech is dedicated to my father, who never got to see me graduate because he died of cancer in my junior year. He was an immigrant who moved here from Cairo, Egypt in 1969 to Minnesota with nothing but $14 and the dreams of eating an American cheeseburger. His words of advice are always in the back of my head. Just keep going. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kareem, but how do you know I wasn't planning to sing John Bon Jovi? Speaking of stealing lines. Now, the moment you have been waiting for, the presentation of degrees. Members of the class of 2020 and 2021, you will cross the stage one by one as your name is announced. After you have all returned to your seats, please remain seated until the end of the program. Your commencement is not complete until Regent Kenyanya reconfers your degree. And now, on to the business at hand.
Raquel De Angelis Williams.
Regine D'Angela Williams.
Angel S. Hernandez Romero. Tiana Kambunmi. Anusha Dugirala.
Fatima Rahman.
Lisa Miller. Reese George Sanders. Brittany Nicole Jacobson. Pansai Moa. Samantha Jean Berg. Dustin Irving Haugen. Sammy DeVito.
Stephen Wansa.
Mara Blanco. Natalie Blanco. Sebastian Jose Gonzalez Gana. Justin M. Torres.
Hayden Linscott.
Brian Bourne. Pauline Catherine Gleisberg. Cassandra Howard. Sean Lundquist. Camille Hansen. Hannah L. West. Rodrigo Fernando Toho Garcia. Bahar Anjum Sheikh. Allison Perales. Jessica Nguyen. Zachary Kao. Carmel Ann Largosa. Tam T. Min Vu.
T. Bowie.
Jeremy Schlitz.
Andrew Rudser.
Bo Chung Jung. Hugo Ho. Shang Gao. Ruoxi Li. Wen Chen Zhang. David Carlisle Nee Cox. Zijian Li, Lu Kuan Wang, Mary Drew, Thomas G. Anderson, Stephanie Brightsman, Renee Ray Schwartz, Maxwell Lauren Sellner, Carter Nelson, Andrew Jew, Shi Wang, Josie Joe, Cooper Zhao, Yudi Zhang, Shijie Xu, Sky Alpert, Anna Elizabeth Keltner, Rose Johnson, Nicholas Ryan Williams, Panaro Coy, Sophia Thuente, Alex Jacob Bergevin Smith, Jordan Corey Goldammer, Mai Phuong Dang Huynh, Lily Anna Garrity, Jake Marble, Caitlin Johnson, Brianna Odell, Elsa Marshall, Courtney Brandow Anakin,
Ander Guys.
Taylor M. Drinkman, Tyler R. Steels, Alexei Askvig, Rebecca Marie Engelking, Grace Dano, Fang Yuan Liu, Zichen Zhu,
Corrigan Kletzik.
Yuta Noji, Garrett Charles Finn, Britt D'Arezzo, Nora Elizabeth Lutmer, Greg Toshani, Michael Reinhardt, Adrian Sarah Jadrick, Cassandra Varage, Elizabeth Chancholas, Hannah Brune, Megan Elizabeth Elke Gage, Sarah Joan Huffer, Brooke Christine Piper, Adrian Frey, Michaela Bell, Madeline Chamberlain, Christian Hostad, Elias Paul Hodge, Benjamin Jordan, Rebecca Hove, Kristen Nicole Da Silva, Shuyang Sun, Charles Althoff, Mackenzie Marie Swano, Kaylee Ray Moreland, Chloe Seward, Tyler Rooney, Lauren Cheetah,
Serena Armstrong,
Annalisa Olson,
Amy Irene Devens,
Elizabeth Rode, Jennifer Nguyen, Marissa Lund, Xin Yi Hu, Abigail Bauer,
Audrey Kennedy,
Nora Clevin, Crystal May Aviles, Estera Nyquist, Daniela Garcia, Shay Lynn Kazima, Sean Whalen, Joe Herzog, Bayan Abu Atiye, Maya Fujioko, Emma Fontanelle, Alyssa Smurd, Sai Chantabandit, Emily Lam, Suzanne Nguyen, Lola DeFever, Diraj Uppel, David Husnick,
Derek DeGrosse,
Kia Thompson,
Noelia Diaz Sanchez,
Megan Louise Jasicki, Amir Eldomiati,
Sarah Christine Lafour, Grace Gray Lowe. Oh.
Catalina Anampa Castro. David Ernest Cranberg. Christopher Tice Morse. Michael Dunst. Tressie Michelle Kinney. Sally Peterson.
Hallie Helen.
Jacqueline Walter.
Paul Davis.
Griselda Sanchez. Madeline Grace Hillman. Brittany Blazar. Allison Dye. Samantha Drexler. Carly Allers. Shai Leah Zhang. Kenneth Honglin Law. Erica Cornett. Aveline Vladika. Dmitry Ivanov. Corey Olson. Timea Pathachak. Marissa Coulter. Mark Hara. Kathleen Schmitz.
Asia Blanford.
Suleika Farah. Hadley Burkhart Nellis. Sophia Nwano Kwale. Ashley Chigozi Namoma Hansen Aguatu. Jennifer Zabo. Claire Dahl. Mia F. Kelman. James Henry Pokeshiba. Olivia Karanja. Maggie Ann Dickey. Bilan Mohammed.
Bilson Saeed.
Victoria Campoverde.
Aaron Mackaman. Dan Mackaman.
Shantina Manning. Victoria Travis.
Renee Bonet Jett.
Rose Pa Hua Xiong. Angie Borowski.
Donna Che.
Caressa Legg. Sammy Lett. Colin Robinson.
Lauren Swee. Catalina Zapata. Monica Alexis Miecznikovsky.
Alma Estefany Martinez Ramirez.
Kaylee Jade Hickma.
Abigail Zellman. Canoe Moa. Noelle Elizabeth Boastley. Stanley Joseph Jezwiak. Janice Chu. Grant Burno.
Lauren Elizabeth Klein.
Hannah Beth McCurley. Faith Dedden. Marissa Rockenbach. Salma Noorani. Kenzie Maybrun. Jada Chicos Monroe. Monica Marie Sinstellian. Helena Michelle Schmidt. Emma Rose Pieper. Elizabeth Olson. Jessica Taylor. Sydney Bagley. Joseph Ward. Maisie Ann Rossi Lund. Haley Begordis. Sam Hackman Merritt. Jiang Yan B. Junjie Chi. Tong Tong. Yiga Lahamo. Ethan Alexander Lashinsky. Eric Koda. Wyatt Rawson. Brooke Linsmeyer. Natalia M. Johnson. Sarah Schroeder. Nicholas Jackson. Dylan Tamara Tatham. Samantha Ree Stinson. Qiling Zhang. Eve Sando.
Majesty Ariana Phillip.
Grace Cynthia Wanja Kecha. Alice Olatide Olabayu. Delisha Danielle Simpson.
Sana Muletu. Mushalewe Elizabeth Annie.
Deja McCurdy.
Kevin James Trong.
Ding Jun Bian. Yu Lin An. Caitlin Geraldine Barco. Emma Rose Smizik. Ping Zhong.
Sophia Jungers. Emily Dickerson.
Cassidy Klug. Elena Paula Sanchez de Verona. Gabrielle Desmet. Rachel Ann Dirksen. Solomon Casa.
Greta Joan Morgan.
Melissa Hernandez Balmaceda.
Aileen Connect.
Catherine Mary Swartzer. Brianna Micrans. Kelsey Bailey. Paige Friedman. Lindsay Catherine Januszek. Katie McCuskey. Piper Grace Christensen. Anaya Armour. Jingwen Nan. Linxin Li. Stepan Subotin. Alexa Cron. Dustin Gerald Morrow. Benjamin James Blonigan.
Savannah Salado.
Ah Ta. Sarah Decker. Fua Mua. Brianna Lee Corder.
Ellen Marie Carroll.
Emma Fowler. Hannah Moe. Callie Ann Kilmer. Florence Wee. Kendra Knutson. Albert Wong. Vanessa Pliego. Crystal Maiju Lee. Morgan Allen Wrighton. Caleb Michael Twiggs. Christopher Pieper.
Chen Yi Wang. Shri N. Lee.
Callie Grace Hardesty. Celine Kohler. Noah Evans Laurie.
Henry Vanderhill. Imran Ahmed.
Ryan Andrew Moon. Garrett Hildebrandt. Cody Christopher Carlson.
Bryce Livingston.
Michelle Jimenez. Haven Jacoby. Sarah Ann Salchow. Orvin Cabanban Pillion.
Demetrius Sevastidius.
Jack Mai Verhagen. John Michael Stack. Jeremy Scott Curtis. Paige Renee Schill. Jonathan Salazar. Syed Akelvi. William Bogenschultz. Izzy Valento. Maria Lourdes Ariola. Alud Ariola.
Natalie Searzan.
Alex Bly. Nanasa Miwa. Kenza El Abdalawi. Josh Spitzer Resnick. August Julian Pirro. Caitlin Reeves. Jiawei Li. Guangxi Li. Adan Yusuf.
Sean Casey Lynch.
Luis Angel Ramirez. Caitlin Minarsich. Xiaolin Guo. Emmeline Elson. Alyssa Hornbuckle.
Jacqueline Therese Radosevich.
Giovanna Lopez.
Quintero Ponce.
Amanda Carroll.
Amanda Carol Lynn Muniz. Tiffany Lynn Tran. Madeline Luna Vang.
Kylie Sonnenberg. Madison Michelle Frederick. Georgia Elizabeth Ingwell. Samson Gurmai. Ifeinwa Ikigwani. Tyra Ramsey. Jordan Gabriel Schreiber.
Tanya Mendigo.
Emily Kuhn. Jay Von Bank. Sunny Vuong. Rose Takuri. Goldie Gopher.
It is now my pleasure to ask Regent Mike Kenyanya to formally reconfer your degrees. Regent Kenyanya, I am honored to present to you the candidates who have completed requirements for College of Liberal Arts degrees in 2020 and 2021.
Good afternoon, everyone. I said good afternoon, everyone. All right, we're almost there. I'm the only one in the way. This is what I'm supposed to read. I'll get to that in a second. But my name is Mike Kenyanya. I have the honor of serving on the Board of Regents. I'm also a proud alum of the University of Minnesota Duluth, class of 2019, so not long before y'all. I get to do a few of these each year, and last week I was able to participate in the CFAN's commencement, and I started with a joke. I thought it was kind of funny, but it got me in trouble, so I'm not gonna say it. But if I were gonna say it, it would sound a little something like this. You know, as a UMD alum and a Bulldog, it's always great being in Mariucci because we're always so successful here. But I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. It's not appropriate. So, you know, I would fit in so well with this graduating class because I did everything late in college. So why not commencement as well? But you know, anyone who participates in commencements has what I call commencement cliches. You know, there's a commencement bag you just reach into and pick what you're gonna say this time, but it doesn't really apply to these two classes. We can't say anything about going out into the world and now that you've graduated because you've been graduated. You know, some of you went to grad school after, some of you are employed. So I had to set that aside, but I have two things to offer briefly. One is a quote by Horace Mann, and the quote says, "Education then, above all devices of human origin, is the great equalizer of the conditions of people, the balance wheel of the social machinery." Again, education then, above all other devices of human origin, is a great equalizer of the conditions of people, the balance wheel of the social machinery. And I really like this quote, and whenever I think about it, it makes me think of my dad, specifically. He's a smart guy. He's a really smart guy. Some questionable decisions here and there, but overall, objectively a smart person. And the reason this quote makes me think of him is because after my sophomore year in college, I had an internship, and at that internship, I realized that at that internship, as a sophomore, I was earning just about as much, maybe more, than my dad had, than he was at that time. And I thought about that a lot. It didn't sit well with me. And the more I thought about it, I realized it was really all about opportunity, and the opportunities I have and have had and the ones he didn't. And I think that quote captures that so well. Life is certainly unfair. People come from different backgrounds. You're set up differently to succeed. But the best tool we have to kind of balance that out is education. Even after that, we know things aren't totally fair in terms of the access we have to education and jobs after that and whatnot. But two people from two completely places in the world going in for an interview, I think the thing that balances it out the most is the same degree. And that's why that's the great equalizer that we have. And I mean, I think if my dad always has get-rich-quick schemes. He's so entrepreneurial. And I feel like if he had the educational opportunities I did, it would have been him, not Elon Musk, buying Twitter the other week. So, and I hope that those of you who have entered the workforce in grad school and whatnot are starting to see the value that education provides you beyond the technical expertise of your major. I work in IT consulting, and I thought I would work with people who studied IT, and a lot of them are actually English majors, history majors, someone in agriculture, former teachers, and I was curious about that, and I asked about it, and the person in HR told me, look, we can teach these people how to code. We can teach them about computers, but we can't teach them how to work hard. We can't teach them how to write. We can't teach them how to problem solve. We can't teach them how to work with difficult group projects. Those group members you had in school who don't do anything but still get credit, they're there at work. And the ones who obsess over the PowerPoint font and you're like, can we just figure out the actual thing? They're there at work. And some of those experiences are what college can provide you to take on to the workforce. You learn how to finesse here, essentially, and that's what's important. Lastly, I also wondered, why did this group come back? It was certainly optional. You already had your transcript. You already graduated. Some were in school. I bet someone here started grad school and finished it and is getting both degrees right now. So I come back, and I think it's because these seemingly small milestones matter to us as people, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's an urge to feel like you're too cool for certain things. For me, it was prom. I was like, I'm not a prom kind of guy. And then I saw all the pictures everyone was posting, and I was like, I should have gotten a prom. So I went twice senior year. But, we don't have to be too cool for these things. It's important to celebrate, obviously for us, but then also for our parents. And I think that's another reason why a lot of you are here, for your parents, your family members, your supporters, your haters, right? It's important that they see you walk across the stage too. And that's important. The only problem with parents and our supporters is sometimes they put a little unnecessary pressure. If we learned anything from Kareem, it's that it's okay to not have it all figured out, but your parents are gonna congratulate you and then start asking you, so did you get a job yet? Grad school. After grad school, PhD. If you get an apartment, when are you gonna buy a house? It's always about what's next. What's next? Reminds me of the Drake song. I'm not gonna play that one though, like Kareem did, as much as I'd like to. But I bring all that up to just remind you of how important of an accomplishment this is. A lot of us grew up around college and expecting to go to it, but not more than 10% of the world's population, 10% will get a bachelor's degree. So you've already accomplished so much, and regardless what happens from here on out, in the words of renowned poet Christopher Bridges, also known as Ludacris, I may not mean much to you, but my mama thinks I made it. So, with all that being said, I will now ask the class of 2020 and 2021 to please rise. All right. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Regents of the University of Minnesota, I now reconfer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. You have many reasons to be proud of the accomplishments you take with you into the communities of Minnesota, our nation, and our world. We will be very, very proud and pleased to welcome you back on campus again as alumni of the College of Liberal Arts at the University of Minnesota. We just have one final detail to take care of. I would invite you all to move your tassel from the right side of your mortarboard to the left to declare to the world you are graduates of the University of Minnesota. And graduates, there is one final thing. You are now alumni. That means you are expected to memorize every syllable of the university's alma mater, Hail Minnesota, Minnesota Hail to Thee. I should pronounce it correctly if I want you to memorize it. You will be tested at alumni events and in other forums, and it can come in. I'm sure there's a karaoke bar somewhere where you could sing Minnesota Hail to Thee. We welcome our soloist, Philip Zavisha, to sing Minnesota Hail to Thee.
Minnesota
Congratulations.